Ayo, it's Edwin, and today I'm going to do a review of the Transformers Kingdom Galvatron and Cyclonus figures. But first of all, I want to give you guys a thanks for the over 1,000 views I got on my Nemesis Prime video. Thank you guys so much for all those views. That is my most viewed video in my history on this YouTube. Anyway, on to the video. First, I'm going to do Galvatron. Now, this is honestly the best Galvatron figure I think Hasbro or Takara has ever made, because it's the most screen accurate to the Transformers, the movie, and season 3 and 4 of the original G1 cartoon. They did make a figure, though, a few years back that was good for the time, but the head was terrible because it was like a headmaster where you had to put the head on top of the figure and then flip a crown up. But the crown was just this stupid mask. But now we got this really beautiful head right here. Just like the Kingdom's War for Cybertron line, though, there's also a bunch of scuff battle damage marks, which I've never really been a fan of, but the paintwork itself, aside from that, is really good. Anyway, on to transformation. I'm not sure, but I think the transformation of this figure is extremely similar to the Titan class, not Titan class. The figure from the line before War for Cybertron, but like modified a bit more. So I know the arms work almost exactly the same way. I think the legs transform to the back end similarly. This figure's transformation is also really good too. Like all the pieces just like flip onto the, like he just basically flips around to the side like this. Up like that. Just bend the legs back. So he's basically kind of just laying down in a more intricate way. The legs, though, take a bit of force to tab in, though, sometimes. Although now, luckily, that was easy for me right there. Also, when getting this part lined up to the crotch area, it's not hard to do, but these pieces right here have to go over the chest, or else this thing will just be sticking up like that in the cannon mode. Galvatron as a character is very interesting because he's obviously the sort of more upgraded form of Megatron from Unicron, but after the Cybertronian War he lost his mind, and it's just basically been a nuisance for the other Decepticons. Anyway, there is his cannon mode. Again, this is honestly the best Galvatron figure I've ever seen, or at least ever owned. I love the fusion cannon too, just big bright orange blaster. This cannon part right here just doesn't tab in, so you're just supposed to lay it flush. Oh, and here's a little accessory he comes with. The Matrix of Leadership, which he stole from Ultra Magnus in the movie. He usually has it around his neck, and he can also place it around his cannon. I guess that's his bling. Anyway, on to Cyclonus now. Now this Cyclonus figure, just like Galvatron, is the best figure of this character we've ever had. Very sleek design, very compacted, barely any kibble sticking out or sticking up from him. Like, I love when Transformers are able to just shove everything into one streamlined back and front end and not have a bunch of parts just sticking out of their body or laying there, you know. Also, another thing about this figure I like is the light piping and the fact that it only comes from this little sliver in the back. Unlike most Transformers figures, or not most, but a lot of Transformers figures, I should say, just have the whole back head in clear plastic, which always makes me worry that the neck will just snap off. A nice, sleek, and slim design. Anyway, on to the jet mode. His transformation is also pretty freaking good. I used to have the old Universe one, the one that they repainted to look more like his movie colors, which came packaged with Hot Rod, or Rodimus as they kept calling him back then. That was a good figure, but I honestly think this one is so much better. See, like that the legs just hide in to the back of the jet. That I just love how compact everything is on this guy. One thing I hate about this figure, though, and it's a very small yet extremely intrusive thing, it has to do with the nose cone. And for those people who know it, you know what I'm talking about. It's this little nozzle right here. Like, unless you have like fingers that are really long, it is impossible to get that out. So you gotta have like a coin or something to jolt it out. Like my headphones I just used, anything lying around that's thin enough to go into this groove can pull it out. But it's so bad how you have to just find a tool to take it out. Like they couldn't have like a little groove in there to like stick your finger in. I don't know. It's like the one big flaw I could find with this thing. Now, the thing with Cyclonus' character, in the original movie, he was really not a character at all. He was just another toy to sell. But in the third season of G1, they gave him a really cool voice and a really cool personality. Right? And he was the right-hand man to Galvatron and saw that his boss was just going mentally insane, and in that one episode tried to get him actual therapy. That was fun. You just tap this in. Anyway, here we go, his space jet mode. Again, extremely sleek, extremely compact. I mean, look at this backside. There's barely any gaps or grooves in it. It's just, unless you were looking at it closely, you wouldn't even think this transformed. It's honestly one of the best sort of jet Transformers I've ever seen. Honestly, one of the best Transformers figures I've ever seen, too. Good God, look at that. Obviously, you have his whole chest on under it, but obviously most people are just going to display it like, normally and not like upside down like that, but so it doesn't really matter, but just, get a really cool jet. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed those reviews of these Kingdoms figures. Honestly, these are some of the best figures in that War for Cybertron line that I own. This has been Edwin. I hope you like that, and I'm out.